What is privacy?
Privacy is a broad concept. So privacy means different things to different people. So it could mean sitting at your home in your backyard and not having other people observe you while you're at home, so you can build fences to secure your privacy. It could mean going to the doctor, revealing your medical records, your personal information, and then expecting that doctor not to disclose that information to anyone else without your prior consent or without your permission. So really, the idea of privacy is that your private information, your conversations, your actions, they're kept out of public knowledge, and you have some control over who has access to that information. So to help achieve that, in Victoria we have 3 laws which help preserve our privacy, and this applies to all people living in Victoria. And there's 2 main components to these laws. So now in everyday, day-to-day life, we have to disclose some private information. For example, if you go to a car dealer, you inquire, you get a quote, you have to leave your phone number there, you have to leave your address there, and that is private information. Now what the laws do is that they help regulate that information. So they regulate how the information is collected, how it's stored, and who has access to that information. So once you've parted away with some private information, it regulates and secures that, or helps secure that information so it's not misused. So that's the first part. And the second part of privacy laws is that it empowers you. So it gives you the choice to ask a question: why are you asking for this private information? How is it going to be stored? Where is it going to be kept? Who's going to be able to see this information? So the second part is it empowers you and also gives you a right to find out what private information has been kept by an individual or by a services provider or by an organisation. So there's 3 main laws, as I said earlier. There's the Information Privacy Act, which is the Victorian Act, and there's also a federal act, which is the Privacy Act. And together, these 2 laws, or legislation or acts, help secure and regulate the private information so it's not misused, and also gives you some of the powers and some of the rights we talked about earlier. And the second, or the third act really, is the Health Records Act, and this is very similar to the other privacy laws, except this deals exclusively with the health records or the medical side of things, and keeps your private medical information and regulates, keeps it private and helps regulate and gives some instruction to the medical providers like your doctors, GPs, physios, or OTs, or anyone at the hospital, and gives them some guidelines to how your information is stored, and also gives you access to that information so you can access that information later on.
For more information, visit the Youth Disability Rights Hub at www.youthdisabilityrights.org.au.